network. Okay, sorry for the break. My network went off. So I had a network challenge here. Sorry, please. I think there's an error in the duplication of keys, the streaming keys. Okay, but we'll just have to continue with this, our streaming. Sorry, there's an error in the streaming, but please bear with us. Like I was sharing the HTML, the windows for you. Okay, actually this is on building a scalable web application using Python, not fundamentals of machine learning with Python. It's building scalable web application using Python. So we are having little challenges here, and I think I'll try my best to settle this, to correct it now. Let me see what I can do. I'll try my best to change it. Okay, good and fine. Good and fine. Okay, so I have this. Just don't worry. Let's give us some time so everything will be sorted. Okay, so I think we are back online. So thank you for your patience and thank you for joining us back. So like as we're presenting, we will continue our demonstration on the post and the get. So I said the form, the methods are either post or a get. So when I use post, I'm sending the application, the data in the form which I got it from the HTML element. I'm sending it to a place for processing. But when I use get, it means I want to obtain information from the URL. I want to obtain data from the URL and use it on that web page. So it specifies, it determines which of the options I will go through. So most of the times, if you are sending an information to the database, if you are sending an information to a secured location, you can easily just use post. You use post for it. So that's what I'll be doing now. Then good, that is one tag we've seen in the HTML. We've seen this tag in HTML, and I would like also that we see the other input tags. Now first and foremost, we have a label tag, and the label will specify is just like we're writing like a title. So that's what we use label for. We use label for like maybe like label for username. Now I will say username. Good, that is what label is used for. Then I can specify the inputs, which is inputs, and this inputs will be what? Text, because I want the user to enter a text, so it will be text. Have to do this. Then it asks me for the name attributes. First and foremost, the type attribute of an input can be, the type attribute of an input can be a text, it can be a password, it can be a date, it can be a date time. So you just have to specify what you know. It can be a file, it can be a color, what you want to specify it. Then we have the name attribute of an input. It is used most of the times by the programming languages. That's what Python use, that's what PHP use, and that's what what is it called? Most languages, they use that for obtaining the data, the value that is inside that is inside the, excuse me, we use that to obtain the value that is inside the PHP, inside the inputs. Okay, so now we'll be looking at the ID attribute of an input or any HTML tag. Most of the times it is used by JavaScript, and it's also used by CSS. We use that to style the CSS. We use that to perform some nice things on our CSS. We use that to perform some nice things on our CSS. So that is all about this. Okay, I'm not sure if you can see my screen. I'm trying to share my screen. Please let me just know if you can see my screen. Okay, now, so I've explained what the doc type is. We specify the type of the document as HTML. I'll explain what that HTML, the first tag of an HTML page is HTML. The lang there you see is an attribute that tells you the language in which that HTML is typed, is typed in. Let me use that word, type. It's typed in. Then also we have the head section. After the HTML, we have two sections, which are the head and the body. The head section gives us information or data that search engines, or call it search engines like Google, like Bing, they use that for indexing our web page. That is what SEO, which is search engine optimization, that is what is actually being used. A good tag there that is used there is the meta tag. When you have the meta tag, you use that to specify a lot of things concerning your page. You can specify the author of the page, you can specify the keywords that is inside that web page, which would be when someone search on Google, for example, the keyword, it will produce your page. Okay, then we can also specify the title. Specifying the title of the web page makes us to see it on the browser tab, just like what you can see there. Meet building scalable web app. That's what the title does. The other tags you can have in the head section, we can have the style tag, we can have the script tag, and we can also have the link tag. The style tag is used to specify our CSS. If we're doing internal CSS, we use the style tag. Then if we're on external CSS, we'll make use of the link tag. But in that situation, it will be the link will be CSS. So the rel will be what? The style sheet. These attribute names of relationship of the linked document to the current document. That is the relationship. It will be what? Style sheet. You are telling it is style sheet. So I am linking it to an external style sheet, which can be in a browser, in a folder somewhere, or it can also be in a web page or a host dedicated just for styling, something like the bootstrap, the font ensemble, the material design. Good, just that way. Okay, and also we have the body section. The body section of the HTML page presents everything we see inside the HTML page. So if we want to see any input, if we want to see any particular thing, we just have to use the body section and fix it in the body section. Though HTML does not query your page for making it not visible, it doesn't query it, but it doesn't throw error, but actually it is not professional. It is not professional for you to have your video. It's not professional for you to have your video tag in the head section. It's not professional for you to have your input tag in the head section. So the professional way is anything you want to be seen should be in the input, in the body section. Should be in the body section. Okay, this is just an example of a tag in the body section. We have the form tag. I told you the form tag, what the form tag does, and it only has two methods, which is a post or a get. A post method is you are sending the content of the form to be processed or to be stored in a secured place. So you don't want to reveal the content of the form in the web browser. But when you use the get, the content of the form will be revealed in the web browser, and it means that you are obtaining an information, or you are obtaining a data from the content from a URL. Okay, for those that don't know what URL is, URL simply stands for Uniform Resource Locator. Okay, location. So we have the label, we have the input. These are also HTML tags. What you see there after the main tag is called the attributes. They're called the attributes. So the for specifies what that label is for, and the type specifies the type of input. There are numerous types of inputs. We can have the input type as, we can have what is it called? We can have text, we can have dates, we can have color, we can have a lot of things. I think there are so much inputs. Okay, you can see then we can have a button, we can have a checkbox, we can have a color, we can have date time, we can have file, we can have email. A lot of them. So all we just need to do is to rightly specify our input tag. Okay, so there are some other tags here, and I will briefly be showing you these tags using it will be faster if I show you these tags using what I've used before in a tutorial. Okay, web dev tutorial. When I did a basic web development tutorial, let me quickly show you what you can do with the different types of inputs you have in your HTML. Okay, so now I'll be sharing the screen with you. Just a moment. Just a moment. Good. So you have it on your screen, the different types of input and how favicon is used. How we use favicon. You can see that Okay, my voice is down. Okay, just confirm if you can hear me now. Let me know what's wrong. Hello, can you hear me now? Hello, can you hear me now? Hello. Okay. I believe it will be okay. I believe it will be okay. So if you see your screen, these are different examples of inputs we've used. Different examples of inputs, and also we'll make shown how we can use the icon tag. How we can make use of the icon tag. So this will be uploaded. This will be uploaded online. This script. Now, if you see some of the tags there, you see the button. The button is just something that is clickable. Something that is clickable. So when you click on the button, or when you hover your mouse on the button, the title will be displayed. When you hover your mouse on the button, the title will be displayed, as well as any other HTML input. But when you clicked on it, it will process something for you. Your value, the form, or what you want it to do will process. So this is about it. Briefly, the header tag is an HTML5 tag, same as the nav. These are just used to show the sections in a web page. The section, just like normal formatting, to sectionize your web page and to give it a nice presentation. Okay, so because of time, I will be rushing now to look at CSS. How can we do our basic styling in CSS? Okay, I have this file here, good, which is how we just style some basic things. I will style some basic things. Now you see this is a style, a pattern of styling. We can style using inline styling. When I specify my style as an attribute of an HTML tag, it is called inline styling. But when I specify my style as a tag and as an HTML tag itself, it is called internal styling. And when I specify my style as an external document, then I have it as what? I have it as external styling. So these are the three ways we can style our web pages. There's three ways we can apply CSS. We can either apply it internally using the style attribute. When I mean style attribute, is I come here, I specify style. Now style is now an attribute of this particular place. This is what we call inline styling. Inline styling, and we use it to get our CSS. You see, contain CSS styling declaration to be applied to the elements. So this just only applies to the element. But in a situation when I use the style tag, if you look at it there, this attribute and the style element has mainly the purpose of allowing for quick styling. You see, so you use that for quick styling. You use either the inline, the attribute, or you use the element, that is the style tag, as for styling if you want to quickly perform some testing. But the right way and the professional way for you to style, and the best way for you to style, is to style externally. Either you use a style that is in another CSS file, or you use the style that is hosted online in the form of a CDN, content delivery network. Okay, so that is inline styling. I can specify my style here. I can call color. I want the color to be what? To be blue. I want it to be blue. I'll just specify it. Okay, if I don't want to make use of internal styling, then what inline styling? What can I use? I can use internal styling. When I use internal styling, I put it in a style tag or a style element. Then this is okay. Let's just read at this. He said what? He said this style element allows authors to embed style information in their documents. The style element is one of several inputs to the styling processing model. So either I use this or to get my styles, where I can use my CSS selector. I can specify my CSS selector in the styling. We have different kind of CSS selector. We have the tag selector, we have the identity selector, we have the class selector, we have the descendant selector, we have the child selector, we have the general selector, and we also have what is called I've called descendant, I've called general, the attribute selector. We also have the attribute selector. Now, if you can see very well, without specifying these inputs here, this type equals to text, and performing what? An element selector or a tag selector. But when I specify this input equals to text, I'm now performing what is called an attribute selector. Okay, I think let me see if you can view this in a live browser. Let me open it up in a live browser, and we'll see what we have there. We'll see what it presents to us. Let's see what it presents to us. Okay. So I have this. This is what is presenting to us at this particular moment. This was presented to us. So if I should specify, actually I said, okay, I want this, then all I have to do is to change my styles. I cannot change my style, and everything here will be changed. You see, this was not styled, but this has been styled, this has been styled, and it has looked different from the norm. That's what styling does. And lastly, we'll just under 4 minutes think if we can cover JavaScript. Just introducing you to JavaScript, as we would love to. Okay. I just got an indication that my time will soon elapse. So we'll leave JavaScript for tomorrow because we just have 4 minutes to go. We'll leave JavaScript for tomorrow. Then we'll look at JavaScript. Looking at JavaScript, we'll be able, then we'll proceed to Python. We'll proceed to Python and we'll look at those concrete styles, those concrete data structure or data type that is used in web development using any of these packages. Okay, thank you very much for your time. Tomorrow is another day. We'll start by 11 and we'll end exactly by 12. It's just a 1 hour training course, and tomorrow we'll be looking at Python. Then we'll introduce WebPy. So get yourself ready, invite your friends to join. They should join us, and tomorrow will be fun. Tomorrow will be fun. The lapses of today, the network issue will be worked on, and tomorrow we'll have a streamless presentation by God's grace. Before we go off, we just want to say thank you again and happy public holidays to all our Muslim brothers and sisters that are joining this channel, especially those from the Islamic nations. We say happy Sanla and happy Sanla holiday. Do have a nice time. See you tomorrow again by 10. Tomorrow we'll be looking at Python, then we'll introduce WebPy, the first framework we'll use for web application development. Thank you. Of today, the network issue will be worked out